My addiction basically started when I was 15. My so-called uncle would basically get me high and then take advantage of me sexually, and that went on for quite a few months. I would seek that particular thing. I would always want to, it wasn't just opiates at that time that I would always want to mix it. And even with cough medicine or something, it didn't matter what it was, I just wanted to have that blackout moment. That went on until I was about 17, and then I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, and the dentist had prescribed me a script of Percocet 10s every 2 weeks for 3 months. And when those ran out is when I actually realized I was addicted, and that's when it actually hit me that, I had a problem. I remember there was a point in time where I would always say, I will never, ever use heroin, and I was really, kind of firm about that. But once the pills dried up, obviously that's all the opiates that was left, so we had no choice but to kind of switch to that. I got pregnant at 20. I went to Arizona when I was 5 months pregnant, and I basically went out there just to get clean, so I quit cold turkey. At one point in time, I thought, there's no way I was gonna make it. You can't even get out of bed, you can't eat, you can't sleep, but you hurt all the time. That first year was probably the best part of having our son, until my son's dad's mother had him overnight one night, and a gun got shot off at 2 in the morning, and social services was called. Definitely led to my relapse. I mean, pretty much the moment they told me that the parenting rights were terminated, it was done. We had given up, and at that point I wanted to probably just die, because just losing a child is probably the worst thing you could go through. In that moment, I was thinking to myself, every time you try to do better, it seems like the world tries to knock you down, it wasn't fair. But at the same time, I knew that I brought it on myself. I mean, at that point, I knew that what I was doing was wrong, and I knew that I didn't need to be doing it. And eventually, it got to the point where I'm like, hey, I was a mom, and I really loved being a mom, and I don't want to lose that. So I, told my son's dad that I wanted another baby. So then we decided we were going to have our daughter, and then I decided right then and there that it was time to quit. I did not want to continue using anymore. Oh my God, it was probably worse the second time around than it was doing it the first time. I mean, even after the 7th day, I still didn't want to eat. I was throwing up all the time, just 9 months pregnant, laying in bed and, just miserable. Each relapse for me, I think it got worse and worse. I moved into my own apartment, was doing fantastic, and I had met a person who had gotten a script of 20s every week and basically started shooting up. Then I lost my job, lost my daughter, and that for me was like a slap in the face. I was like, no, I am not going through this again. I cannot lose another child. And that day, I decided to quit. And I started to go to the methadone clinic and basically have been going there ever since. I thought I was so hopeless and that I didn't have the support system and everything that I needed in place, to get better. But it's possible, you might think that it's not, but it's always a real possibility. You just have to want it. After 4 months, my daughter came back to me. It was probably the best day of my life, having my daughter back in my arms. And now I have my own company. I have my own apartment. I have both of my children and my fiance, and just the rest of my life ahead of me. So I'm just glad that I got out when I did and made it through everything that I made it through, and to be able to be the person that I am. And I'm like a really happy person. And I mean, I'm only 25, so I know that it's not as late of a start as as it could have been. So